All right. So I lost this level last night. I'm gonna blame the fact that I didn't bring Scarab Flight. On the previous level, I had switched in Hail of Thorns to try to help get my battle goal, and that messed me up a little bit. Feeding Frenzy's bottom seems pretty good here. So let's bring that and maybe not bring Changeling's Boon, I think. Doesn't seem like the most important thing to have for this scenario. Flailing Tendrils bottom can also be really nice. So melee card to drop. When in doubt, playing the Bone Shaper. Hey Randy. Yeah, that should be my default go-to. You know, I have to ban a bot on Twitch. I didn't even think about it, but things really started going wrong when Bone Shaper's summon pulled a +2 and killed something it wasn't supposed to kill, and that triggered my corpse explosion, which then killed the summon that attacked. Whereas if I just hadn't pulled a +2, I wouldn't have killed the priest through the shield. Maybe we drop Hornbeetle Carapace. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to add in both Feeding Frenzy and Flailing Tendrils for bottoms. Alright. Wallflower is pretty hard to get. 3 more loot tokens is hard because I just dropped a loot card. And Long Rest is hard, so maybe we'll go Wallflower. 2 enemies in the same round. That should be very doable. That's super doable. Never kill an enemy. Lose a card to negate suffering 5 or more. We can do that. Do I have anything I want to bring here? I wouldn't mind having Strength of the Abyss, especially for the end if I've got a couple extra shadows laying around for my last couple turns. Use the bottom of Strength of the Abyss to increase my damage. And so maybe in that vein we drop the summon. Although this is a very high base damage summon, it would actually do... It kills Brittled Vermlings with a 0. That's fine, we'll drop it. Do we need to look at Bone Shaper at all? I like Eternal Torment. I don't mind Decaying Will. Maybe we really want the Wraith's bottom ability. That's not something I play around very much, but it can be really good. So let's give it a try. And maybe I'll just drop Transfer of Essence. I like the Strengthen, but it is situational. Hey, Hero. Frosthaven is indeed back. I am thinking, though, that after I play a couple levels, I might go look at the 2.0 classes. Or like one of the 2.0 classes. Do I... Okay, yeah, I do have that. Because I generally, I know very, very little about these classes. I kind of know a lot about Spellweaver and Saw and Sun. And I've like glanced through some of the Circles stuff. But I really don't know anything about the Brute other than they changed his name. Which, like, anytime I see a thread on Reddit that says Bruiser, it kind of triggers me. But I don't know. I just want to look through these and do some theory crafting, because like I hadn't played any Frosthaven for a while, and like I sat down last night to play a little bit, and so much of like everything of this game came rushing back to me, because I was thinking that I like hadn't played a lot of the newer classes that were just added to the game, and then I was just like overwhelmed with how much I remember the shackles and the meteor and all that stuff, and it just made me want to look at something new. So in a little bit, although I'm teasing myself right now, Balanced Measure was one of my absolute favorite cards in Gloomhaven 1. So I'm very happy to see that it's the same, except its initiative went from like 77 to 20, something like that. That is such an amazing change. Because like you would frequently put like Grab and Go with Balanced Measure, and it's like 77, 84, and it's just horrible initiative. You're not a fan of the changes. Well, you were a huge fan of the original 1.0 Tinkerer, and on 2.0 it got a lot better. Yeah, Tinkerer was really, really, really fun through like monster level 3. The problem was, as 1.0's Tinkerer leveled up, you did not ever add any more damage to your character, and your attack modifier deck wasn't that good. And so once the monsters got strong, Tinkerer did not scale with them, but is very, very strong early. No, I have not played any of the Mercenary Pack characters, and I haven't looked at those cards at all. I think when they were very first announced, I saw like really, really grainy images of some Asatha's cards. But Tinkerer was great at the very beginning. He did not scale. Yeah. I've recommended to a couple people that if you ever want to play the Tinkerer in Gloomhaven 1, just start your campaign with it, and you'll feel pretty good. That was, my wife started with the Tinkerer, and she was still playing the Tinkerer when we unlocked the Oozing Grove, and so we were trying to two-player beat Oozing Grove with Tinkerer and Beast Tyrant, and so she has just an overwhelming hatred for the Beast Tyrant because we played that level like 4 or 5 times, just the two of us, and we lost every single time, and you know, she thought it was my fault. Hi, Ken. All right. I'm thinking I can just go late and Draining Pincers. Move into position, and we're hoping to get lined up for a ranged pull on a priest through a trap. But if that doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. And maybe I can go ahead and get off a drag down with the Draining Pincers and just hit a couple of these scouts. Go late and get the level 2 summon out, and set Call to the Abyss. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting I took this perk. The first time you ever played Gloomhaven, you started with the Tinker. He was great. Then the next player you played was Eclipse. That is definitely a swing. Yeah, they changed the Brute's name to the Bruiser, which is, that's not a, I mean, I don't want to dead name him, but to me he'll always be the Brute. If he has the card Balanced Measure, he's the Brute. What are they doing? Okay, they're standing still. I am after them. Awesome. So I can just put him right here, and he'll be able to hit this guy. And I'm after them, so nothing to worry about. not amazing RNG. I'd rather the boss move in. At least the priests are moving a little bit. And I'm first at 72. Yeah, none of the priests are going to get me. So we can just go here. Just get this drag down off. Maybe poison daggering would have been... Nah, not necessary. Yeah, it's annoying that that guy blocked for the elite. Alright, Call to the Abyss for Deathwalker. And just get a little bit closer. Oh, I already failed my Wallflower, didn't I? I kind of don't like that they hid your battle goals behind the quests. But I'm pretty sure Geminate was Wallflower. Wait, is that adjacent to the wall? No, it's not. Alright, I would love to get off a Malicious Conversion. Which is why I played Return Servant. Because now I can move, and that'll get it in the discard. And then next turn I can Malicious Conversion. Attack 4 with advantage. And try to get 3 summons out on turn 2. The only problem with that is where I position this summon. Because I can go in deep and I could just put the summon right here. But that's getting dangerously close to the priests. Maybe I have enough time. Maybe I Malicious Conversion on turn 3. And I can go and set up a Wrath of the Turned Earth here. The really nice thing here, though, is that these guys all grouped up. And now that they're all brittled, that makes me really want to Exploding Corpse. So I could Eclipse plus Restless Spirits. Years ago, there was a kids' board game called Monsters Ravage America. Then someone decided that this had bad connotations to it, so it's renamed Monsters Menace America. Interesting. Is that what I'm doing when I call the Bruiser the Brute? If I put a shadow here and move it 4, it doesn't reach the priest. So I can't kill with Restless Spirits right now. So I guess I just hope that they move... I mean, if they all move 2 again, they should still all be adjacent to each other. And then I can Exploding Corpse kill them that turn instead. Now... Man, I would love to have Banner of Healing or something here. I could Wrath of the Turned Earth to keep my guy protected. Maybe the best bet is just... Deathwalker could go fast, move forward in Forceful Spirits. Although I said fast and win at 34. Could go at 19, move to attack with disadvantage. I would kill with a -1 at disadvantage. And get my shadow and mark this guy. And then this skeleton was summoned before this guy, so this skeleton would move here and hit, and then my big summon would move here and hit. I think I like all of that. And maybe I'll just Fell Remedy someone to remove their brittle. And we can activate Wrath of the Turned Earth. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I wouldn't mind activating Angry Spirits. But maybe I want to tear through as many of the guys up front as I can before we get there. Priests are guaranteed to move, right? Yeah, they're guaranteed to move, and they're actually guaranteed to move quite a bit. This is a normal. So a minimum of move 2. They could go slower than me. If this guy moves 3, 1, 2, 3... I should always be able to pull one into a trap this turn. I think I like this. Have I converted to the Cult of the Bone? No. I don't think I'm ever going to be a big Bone Shaper fan, but... I mean, it's worth playing and trying. Man, if my summon dies right here, I'm going to be so sad. Okay. He didn't die, but that was just terrifying. But I played... Yeah, I played Fell Remedy Heal this turn, so it's actually not that bad for me. Please kill. Okay. Very good -1. We get our first shadow out, and now we can leave this guy marked. Yeah, I didn't get him, but my skeletons will. Okay. Two shadows out is quite nice. I'll put this one right here because it'll be under where that guy is. Let's just go ahead and heal up our big boy and activate Wrath of the Turned Earth. And now gem from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be able to kill this elite. And that feels worth it. The only other argument is I could target the boss and potentially kill 2 scouts, and these guys are grouped up. Yeah, actually, I think I like this more. We saw an 8 initiative card this turn, and so given that we saw one of their 8 initiatives this turn, they can't play the... or they could play one of the others. They're very likely to still be in this formation, and I can go at 21 initiative and play Exploding Corpse. Next time something dies, everything adjacent to it suffers too. And I can use Deathwalkers, now that I have these shadows out, I can use Restless Spirits, make the Elite Priest suffer 3, which the Brittle will double into 6, which kills, and then these guys suffer 2, which will be doubled. So I can just focus the boss here, because the attack 3 will be doubled and kill, and then I can pull into a trap, which is going to be doubled and kill. And that gets out almost all of the scouts, and it pulls the boss in so that he'll suffer from the Exploding Corpse this next turn too. Oh, and he summoned another guy who will suffer from it, although he didn't get brittled, but this all seems really good. I can go at 18 and 20. Yeah, I'll get to heal and remove the brittle off of Bone Shaper, although she's going to get it right back, but that's not the end of the world. And then with my top, I can just hit this guy and mark him. Basically seems like a dream scenario. And then what am I doing here? Maybe I'll just shield up. Yeah, I want to go fast and potentially shield myself. Maybe potentially retaliate, but I can use my Amulet of Life to remove this brittle. Because I might get hit by several things. Move and loot, move and heal. Boss is moving and hitting. And it is faster than I will be able to... I could double boots just so that the boss suffers a little bit of damage. Honestly, I kind of want to. Because if I'm just retaliating with Geminate, I don't want the retaliate to go into... I don't want the brittle on the boss to go into retaliate. That seems lane. So exploding corpse, so the next thing that dies, and then heal myself. And, oh, I don't want to attack that guy yet, because I don't want him to die. Okay, I can attack right here. And mark. And I only would have killed with +2 or crit or something. And now I can just move this shadow. Right there. Kill the elite. And exploding corpse goes off. And since it made the boss suffer, it made that guy suffer, which made him die. And now we just have that one scout. He's going to come and he's going to steal all my loot. He's going to steal all of my loot. Okay. It's kind of dumb, but maybe I just go here so that this guy only takes one piece of loot. And the boss is going to hit me, so let's just remove this brittle. I could retaliate on him, but the fact that neither of the other things are hitting me, I don't think it's worth it to play the retaliate loss. Also, I like keeping the boss up here around, at least relatively close to the traps. Now, my bottom, my fastest bottom, I can wound everything, which will kill this priest guaranteed. Can the boss be wounded? The boss can be wounded. He also can self-heal, but, I mean, it's not too bad. I'm not going to get to transform, but that's fine. Oh, I also can't poison wound myself with Reckless Jab. Maybe I'd rather activate Hornbeetle Carapace. The only problem is I'm not switching. But it's fine. Bone Shaper, I think we just go fast and let these summons... We just let them do their thing. I have Wrath of the Turned Earth charges, so I don't need Angry Spirits. The bottom of it to make things suffer. Yeah, I think I'm just going to summon the Damned Horde, and then next turn I could go for Dark Tidings, potentially. Deathwalker. Did I not get to place my shadow over here? I attacked a priest and marked it, and then it died to suffer damage. And I don't think it let me place my shadow. Unless I forgot to mark it. Deathwalker's turn, attacks the priest. Use Black Barrage. Oh, it didn't say that I marked it, so maybe I misclicked and didn't mark it on accident. It's alright, it's only one shadow. It's probably just Fluid Knight the boss, right? It would be amazing if I could kill all of the Vermlings and then Fluid Knight the boss, but probably not. Alright, so let's attack here. Oh, unfortunate damage. Wound all of these guys. No more priest is very nice. Oh, yeah, the downside with targeting the boss here is that I don't get any shadows out. And that I miss. I lose the shadow for nothing. Yeah, everything in the level gets brittled at the end of every other turn. So it's not every single turn, but pretty frequently everything will be brittled. The boss also whenever he would suffer damage, it goes into one of the Vermlings nearby instead until the third time he gets hit each round. So once he's suffered, yeah, so his wound damage went into this Vermling over here. And then Vermlings spawn until he runs out of reinforcements, but with one of his specials, he adds more reinforcements. And then with his other special, he summons priests. And all we have to do is kill him. But like 36 health when he gets brittled frequently isn't too bad. You just really have to clear out all of the Vermlings first. Which we're pretty close to. I mean, my 2 summons over here should always be able to go faster and kill. I really don't need to play Dark Tidings, but I guess I will. Maybe we'll command the Wretched, because I might be able to grant an attack 5 into the boss that would hit the Brittle, and that would be really nice. Unfortunately, since I messed up that one turn, and then I drew my miss on Deathwalker, I don't have any shadows. And I don't actually have a way of marking anything for a shadow. Is my... Okay, my thing is Slayer. Kill 2 in the same round. Let's just... Yeah, let's just play Eclipse this turn to get a bunch of shadows out. Because I feel like I'm in good enough pace that I can do that. And I honestly feel like I can just long rest on Geminate. I most likely want to be in ranged mode. And so I would have to short rest and then play a turn in melee to switch to range. Or I can just long rest and I'll get to remove this poison. I'll get to get my heal amulet back to remove the brittle next turn. If I lose a card to damage this round, I don't mind that. So these guys are going to... they're going to move in melee. I would love to be able to use Anger the Dead Bottom to get some wounds off. But it doesn't look like I can. So we'll just get some loot instead. You ran out of scenarios. Yeah, this is in the new prologue thing they added. Oh, well, that's very underwhelming damage. I guess at least it probably added a curse. Yeah, that Dark Tidings didn't go very well. And I believe if I do a granted attack 5, it would just go into his shield, so we'll ignore it for now. Save that for a better opportunity. Summon can't take any damage, and Geminate I was planning to lose a card anyway. It looks like it'll probably be more than one. But the main thing I really want from Geminate is to push and pull the boss into these traps. Which now we are set up pretty well for. And Icebound Quills. So just popping the brittles at the right time. So I need the boss to have suffered damage 2 times. And then I want to hit him with Scarab Flight and have him suffer damage. And push him into the trap. So we just go at 18 and hope that I can make that happen. Okay, and the way I make it happen is I play Fluid Knight plus Restless Spirits. I can attack him for 5, which would kill a scout, and I can send a shadow into him for 3, which would kill a scout. That should give me 2 kills on the same turn. and that would be 2 ticks of damage. If the boss is faster than me, I just don't do one of those into him, and then I don't use one of the charges because of the wound. And then I can just go at 30, and then I don't even need to use my boots. And this will not switch me, and then next turn I can double attack. Although I won't be able to get him into the other trap. But that's fine. Then on Bone Shaper, maybe we'll just long rest. We've got Wrath of the Turned Earth. I'm low on health. I could use the heal. The ranged multi-target card out of Scouts would be pretty bad, although I'm going to kill most of them, and they're standing still. The boss is faster than me, so I just don't do one of those attacks into the boss. Because the wound gets his first charge. He makes Geminate suffer 16. And now... So I attack the boss for 8. And now I can just kill... Oh, it didn't give me the Slayer credit for killing that guy. Oh, man. Attacking the boss and having the guy die definitely should have given me the Slayer credit. Oh, well. I just need to get to 3-4 range away. And this attack into him, the damage will go into the Scout. And it kills the Scout, and now I push him, and he no longer has a shield, and he suffers 12. All right, I feel pretty good. 2, 3, 4. Dang. I need to move 4, and I just lost both my move 4s. Well, I need to move 4 to get loot. It's alright, I'll just go fast and I'll command another attack. And, ooh, I go even faster with Geminate, because Geminate, I can pull the boss into the Raging Corpse so that my big summon goes after the boss rather than going down there. And how many Wrath of... Okay, I don't have any Wrath of the Turned Earth charges left, so now my summons will start dying when they get hit. But that's not the end of the world. Only 1 shadow left because Deathwalker has only been focusing the boss. Okay, so I would love to try to get 2 kills in the same round. Although that's pretty impossible to do here. Alright, I need a brittled turn and I need there to be Scouts out. So I kind of just hope that the boss summons more Scouts. We're just going to play cards and see what happens. Yeah, there is so much loot. One, two. Okay. My guy should be going into the boss. Ooh, rolling regenerate is really nice for me. Oh, why did the corpse... Oh, okay. It does make sense that the corpse went that way. It's not too bad, though, because it freed up that treasure spot. And now I can just move this guy closer. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the scout should be going to my skeleton here, I think. Which means he'll go here and only get 1 loot. And now what do I want with... I really want to get my Slayer. Get 2 kills in a single round. Yeah, I do like the top. It's if getting the top of Flow of the Black River and healing yourself for like 4 or 5 on Bone Shaper feels very satisfying. I don't know why I spyglassed that. That was really dumb. All right. There are no baby guys on the map, which means that I can just straight up hit the boss. So I'm going to Icebound Quills him. I don't have any shadows, which is kind of eh. Oh, this guy... Okay, maybe that's how I can get 2 enemies in the same round. Because there's most likely going to be another enemy next turn. And maybe, like, Dark Fog on something that spawns and send a shadow into the priest. Oh, dang, he didn't actually spawn anything. Yeah, Bone Shaper's going to the 4 loot pile this turn. Boss cannot be poisoned, but I will definitely take a +1. Man, none of my Bone Shaper summons have died at all. And we can just heal off this brittle. And we got the move 3. 20 gold, 1 lumber. Honestly, I was hoping for better. Go ahead and mark this guy so I can get another shadow out eventually. Poor Geminate just losing all the cards. Okay, I mean, I can pull the boss into a trap here. It seems fine. I'm just going to long rest Deathwalker. Okay, good. He called reinforcements. I hopefully can use that to pick up some kills. Alright, Geminate is now exhausted. Yeah, I wish Bone Shaper could enhance. What are we doing here? Yeah, I guess I'll just pick this up, right? One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deathwalker's just like barely not in range to go for... Oh, okay. I can go for the priest. So Restless Spirits bottom to kill the priest. And Dark Fog top to kill the war chief. And I have Spyglass. So that should be my double kill for my Slayer on Deathwalker on this turn. And then everybody else is just picking up money. Okay. I need to lose a card to negate suffering 5 or more damage. Oh, I can't damage the boss with Deathwalker to kill him if these guys are alive. Wait, so what was my plan here? I didn't like actually come up with a plan. I just decided I would long rest. Okay, maybe I'll go for that next turn. Can I reach? No, I can only reach the boss, but hitting the boss and having the damage jump doesn't help me. Ow. Jiminy can go down. Alright, big damage into Bone Shaper. Good. She loses a card and negates 6 damage. And that should get her battle goal. Good. And then my summon damage killed. My summon damage killed the bad guy. Okay, we got the Acrobat. We just need to get Slayer now, which I should be able to get. Oh. Dang it. Okay, if I get a +1 on Black Barrage, that would get it. Can I get Dark? Okay, now a 0 gets the kill. Oh my gosh, my summon tried so hard to ruin everything for me. Okay, we just pick up money. They tried to ruin it, but they didn't succeed. Oh, okay. We needed the Spyglass. Oh, and yeah, I could have done it first and then used my Strength of the Abyss. Alright, we got Slayer. It worked out. It worked out. No Wallflower, unfortunately. And unfortunately, they fixed the prologue, giving you like 4 free buildings for no reason. All right. That went so much smoother than last night, and I don't really know why. I think I just didn't see very many of the 8-speed cards out of the priests. 40 damage on Geminate is crazy. And my summons stayed alive basically the whole scenario. That helped a lot. Alright, let's look at a little bit of the Bruiser while...
For the 100th, no.
While this loads, because it can take quite a while to load. Oh, all my cards should be fine. Never enter a hex occupied by another character or obstacle. That seems very doable. On Geminate, never drop below half health. Kill an enemy and pick up its loot the same turn. Never used my lower initiative. We'll go for the Mugger. Bone Shaper, Recluse. Never end adjacent to an ally. No. Occupy a door hex adjacent to 2 enemies. No, thank you. But Promoter. Target an ally once per rest cycle. So Bruiser, 10 health, 10 cards. Exactly the same. I don't know if I want to look at modifiers first or second. Probably looking at modifiers before cards. Probably glance at them, then glance at the cards, then glance back at the modifiers.
Aldox Raiders! We do!
The card that gives summons +1 move, pierce, and HP. Yeah, that's Solid Bones at level 5, I believe. Alright, so Bruiser. 2, replace a -1 with a +1s. Replace a -1 with a rolling shield 1. 2 of those. So that gets you down to just 1 -1. Replace 1 +0 card with 1. Add this card to your active area on your next attack. On the next attack targeting you, performed by an adjacent enemy, discard this card to gain Retaliate 2 for the attack. And it's rolling. All of that, and then a rolling symbol. Okay, I mean, I like that. Okay, so replace a 0 with a rolling nothing card, but it gives you Retaliate the next time you get hit. It's just 1. I kind of would have liked if this was like 1 perk that put 2 of them in there. No, that would be way too OP. That would be 1 perk that adds like 4 rolling cards of damage. I like that. We'll have to see how much Retaliate is in the deck. Replace a 0 with a 0 stun. Love that. Add a +1 heal 2 self. Not bad. Add 1 +2 push 2 card. You know, I really have come around on this perk a little bit. Because Geminate has one that's similar. It's add 2 +1 push 3 cards. And I really, really like those, even though it's less damage. The fact that it's more push can be really fun, and the fact that 1 perk adds 2 of them to the deck means that you do draw it sometimes. Like, just adding one of these cards with push 2 means you're drawing it so infrequently, and having to commit 2 perks to it is just not something I'm ever going to do early. And so that makes this a little bit less appealing, but also it is adding a +2, which is really good. Add a +3 and add a rolling disarm and a rolling muddle card. Not a huge fan of that. Depends on how many attacks you can do. Like maybe if you're hitting the same target like 4 times in a single turn, and if you have some way to gain advantage on all of that, then you're actually very likely to draw that disarm at some point if you're hitting a scary target. But it does add an out to play towards. Ignore negative item effects and add 2 +1s. I'm sure that is good. Once each scenario during your turn, you may perform loot 1. If this ability loots at least 1 money token, you may refresh 1 item. I love that. That is so cool, because I hate bringing loot cards, and I always find myself wishing that I had them. So a perk that lets you loot is just insanely amazing, and it gives you a nice effect. Double checkmark means that, like, I don't think I would ever really plan to take this perk, but anytime I leveled up and completed battle goals at the exact same time, and I just so happen to have 2 perk marks, I would probably be very tempted to take this, especially if it's really early on the character when looting can be really good. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you have to actually loot a money token. Oh. Have a good night, hero. That's interesting. That's interesting. I was just assuming that... Well, but I actually don't know what's in the loot deck in Gloomhaven 2.0. I didn't actually know there was anything besides coins in it. I mean, even still, even if you don't get to refresh the one item, just getting to use this one time in a scenario to get like 2 or 3 extra turns of loot without having to commit a full turn to it, or 2 or 3 extra loot tokens without having to commit a full turn to it, is really, really nice. Like, you might be right in the middle of battle and find that you need to be moving across the field to hit the next priority target, and it's just like, oh, before I go, I'm gonna loot from the guy that I killed last round, and now I'm gonna go over, and then if you do get your money token, you know, maybe you can refresh your poison dagger or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they add the caveat in case you're playing it in Frosthaven. But I mean, I would imagine that there's something else in the loot deck in Gloomhaven. It would be a little weird to go from Frosthavens, where it's very, very spread out. I really like having herbs as a thing in Frosthaven, so I would hope that Gloomhaven 2.0 has something like that. It's much more exciting to get your herbs to unlock your potions than it is to just buy them for gold. Whenever you long rest, add +1 to your first move ability the following round. Oh. Oh, I see myself taking that first, like, all the time. Because Balance Measure is just my favorite card. And that card just says add +1 damage to Balance Measure. Although, maybe it's not that good, because if you're long resting, you're probably not going to play Balance Measure for damage the next turn. Also, I would assume that Boots of Striding are not a super early item that you can just go and pick up. Which makes Balance Measure a little worse. Each character gains advantage on their first attack during the first round of each scenario. But how many characters are attacking in the first round of each scenario? All right, let's look at the level 1 cards. Balance Measure, oldie but goodie. Your top, you get to attack for the number of hexes you've moved this turn. But now it's 20 initiative instead of 77. And then the bottom is move, and you move based on the amount of damage you've dealt so far this round. That was not ever something I really found myself doing. Although now that it's 20 initiative, that does become easier to do. Eye for an eye at 13, which is a change. I'm not remembering what it was before. It might have been 20 before. Shield 1 and Retaliate 1, instead of just Retaliate 2 on the top, I think. Having Shield 1, Retaliate 1 is really, really nice. And 13 initiative is really, really nice to have. I do not mind a level 1 13 initiative Shield 1, Retaliate 1. That's quite good. And then heal 3 self on the bottom. Much, much better than the heal 2 that it had before. Grab and Go went up 3 points of initiative and added heal 2 self to it. That's just insanely good. this was already a good card and they buffed its initiative. They super buffed the loot, which it was already one of the better looting cards, just because it was a top loot. And now it's top loot and heal 2. And then move 4 on the bottom. See, the problem for me is I used to frequently play grab and go with balance measure just to get move 4, attack 4, or with boots of striding, move 6, attack 6. But now they've buffed grab and go's top so much that makes me want to play that. Also, the old brute really struggled with healing itself because it just had the eye for an eye heal 2, and now it already has 5 health of healing just in its first 2 cards. Leap and cleave, the top is the same. Bottom is move 3 jump, but instead of wind, now you get a push 2 targeting something adjacent to you. I like that a lot. Move 3 push 2 can be really, really good. I hope that Gloomhaven has more traps than Frosthaven does. The original did. Frosthaven, the scenarios feel very lacking on the traps. The initiative's not amazing, but the top of Leaping Cleave is just very, very good. That's a very, very easy pattern to get off. First world problem to have, yeah. Do you think it's worth taking the perk to give everybody advantage so that they attack on the first round? I mean, in some scenarios, you really find yourself wanting to attack in the first round. And in some levels, there aren't even any enemies in the first round. I just have a hard time seeing myself ever grabbing that perk. Overwhelming Assault does 1 more damage than it used to. Oh, and the bottom is move 3 with jump and make wind. I'm surprised to see the wind stayed, but it's still with skewer, so that's fine. Initiative, for the most part, has stayed relatively similar. Like, eye for an eye went down a little bit. Balance measure went down a lot. But a lot of these cards that I'm seeing are very similar. And initiative could be a problem on brute. Okay, we have a 10 and an 18. So never mind, I take that back. It looks like it gets a lot better. Those are both X's. Overwhelming Assault. I could definitely see myself not bringing this card. Shield Bash, attack 4, stun. Bottom is move 2 and shield 1. That's really, really nice to be able to move 2. Also, this means you can pair this with eye for an eye because this is bottom shield and this is top shield. And now as a level 1 character, you have access to move 2, shield 2, retaliate 1. That is so insanely good. That is really, really, really nice. Non-loss, move 2, shield 2. It does use 2 of your fast initiative cards, but I think that's probably fine. Because, yeah, I see enough other fast initiative cards. It doesn't seem like a big issue. Skewer gives us a way to use that wind. 2 target attack, 4 pierce 1 is so insanely good. That is a huge, huge, huge value win use. Advantage on a turn 1 balance measure. Attack 6. That does sound pretty good. You're right. Use skewer bottom and make it attack 8. Okay, skewer gives you a good reason to want the wind on Overwhelming Assault, which is exciting. Spare Dagger. I always liked having this card. I think the initiative is a little bit worse, but not that much. And we've seen a lot of other good initiative. And the bottom just got 1 pierce on it. That seems insignificant. Trample got 1 more pierce. And the bottom is the same, except it's 1 more damage, which is really, really nice. I like it. I always loved playing Trample, especially with the Stunning Hammer or Power Potion. Warding strength, attack 2, disarm. So the initiative on your attack 2 disarm went from 10 to 32, which seems much more balanced. And then on the next 6 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, gain shield 1, retaliate 1 for the attacks. So that's like, it's a level 1 loss that's doing 12 hit points worth of stuff. You save 6 and you deal 6. It's not as strong when it's not consistent on what it is. But the fact that you can stack that up with shield bash, and it's the next 6 sources of damage from attacks. So if you already had 2 shield from eye for an eye plus shield bash, and it wouldn't save you any health, then it's not going to use a charge. So I really, really, really like that. That's something I would be very interested to playing into, is using this warding strength and just trying to keep up a bunch of shields and getting as much retaliate off as possible. Because we have another retaliate card coming up in a second. But first, Fearsome Taunt, attack 3, push 3. I love anything that has push 3 on it. It's so amazing. You get 3 XP. Yeah, is that for the trample? Oh, for the warding strength, you get 3 XP, yeah. And you can get 3 XP from the trample, too. So it looks like Tinker's not the only one who prints their experience. And with this warding strength, if you get attacked 6 times in a single turn, you could get 3 XP from this and 6 XP from your eye for an eye. And that's a 9 XP turn just by getting hit. All right, Fearsome Taunt, 10 initiative too, is really, really interesting. Attack 3, push 3, I really like that. And then another shield card. Whenever an enemy would attack one of your adjacent allies this round, you may have that attack target you instead, regardless of the attack's range and line of sight limitations. All right, I like that. 10 initiative and putting a shield on that ability is really nice. Because, like, there's an item in Frosthaven that does this, and the Infuser can do this, but there's no shield on the card. And so it's just not something I've ever really tried. I used that ability one time to protect a summon. But given that you have shield on it and you get to go at 10 initiative, you do have to already be next to an ally. But I could see myself playing that. Oh, is it not once? Oh, okay. You're right. It's not 6 XP. Well, that's sad. That's super sad that it's not 1 XP each time you retaliate. Yeah, Provoking Roar is the same. Provoking Roar, you pull one thing and you muddle it. I love that. I love that so much. You see like a living spirit. You pull the living spirit next to you. You muddle it so that it doesn't run away, and then it will get retaliated on because it's muddled. That's just really awesome. Gain 1 experience the next time you retaliate, and you get to set retaliate 2. And yeah, you pair that with warding strength, and now you're just like walking around with shield 1, retaliate 3. The next several times you get hit, and you can force any ranged enemy that can be muddled to get retaliated on this round. And the bottom is move and pull. These cards are very, very, very simple. Like, this is, it seems very, very similar to the Gloomhaven 1 Brute, but just spiced up a little bit. Like, a lot of the numbers are just simply bigger. Trample has 1 more pierce. Your attack 3 push has push 3 on it with better initiative. Shield Bash's shield has movement on it now. Like, they just added like little tiny things to keep the class nice and simple still. But you still have your balance measure to get to do something fun. You can still try to optimize damage by leaping cleave, getting multiple hits on the targets. You still have wind with skewer for probably your best level 1 attack. And then the trample loss is fun. And then you actually can play around with doing some shielding and retaliating, and you have a little bit of access to healing now. It is still only 5 health of healing in the first rest cycle, or in a rest cycle at level 1. But if you long rest with that, that's potentially 7 health of healing. But also, you really need the healing if you're going for shielding and retaliating, and then if you're doing that, then you don't have the self-heal on Eye for an Eye. Unless, like, you could play Eye for an Eye in the first rest cycle, then heal up with Grab and Go, then long rest, then Eye for an Eye bottom before you go into the next room. And then the last level 1 card, Sweeping Blow, attack 2 Muddle, add +1 for each undamaged target. That's interesting. And then it's a 23 initiative move 4. We did not see very many move cards. Warding Strength is no move, Fearsome Taunt is no move, Provoking Roar is move 2 pull, Trample's a loss, Spare Dagger's not a move, Skewer's a loss, Shield Bash is just a move 2, shield 1. And then we've got move 3 jump, and push. So the movement is quite a... It's a bit limited. It really depends on what kind of boots are available early game. Suspect Brute was the first character they created, yeah. And in general, a lot of the Gloomhaven 1 classes, I mean, their cards are... You look at Scoundrel, and it's like the cards, it's just move and attack, and it's just heal, and this is just attack, and this is just attack, and this is just attack, and this is just move. Not very many of the cards have super exciting stuff. Like Sinister Opportunity is one of your coolest cards where it's like move 3 and then make one enemy move 1. Like single out. It's got some text on it, but the text is just, it turns it into an attack 5 instead of an attack 3. Man, the modern cards really do just look so much better. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just the symbol iconography. It just looks, it's so much cleaner and prettier. And it's so succinct. And it's very, very easy to understand once you learn what all of the symbols do. It looks so much better than the Gloomhaven cards did. Oh, and it looks like there's less background on the cards. Yeah, the cards, it's like the full card. It doesn't have the border. Which, the border just makes these cards look so small. And then there's so much text. But also a ton of empty space because the cards are so basic. The 2.0 cards just look so much better. This Brute looks really, really fun. Like, or the Bruiser, if we're going to call him by the real name. It looks like so much fun because so many of the things that I wanted the Brute to be initially, you just couldn't do. Like, I was shocked the first time I played the Brute, and like I finished my first room and I was almost dead, and I tried to heal up and I couldn't. Like, I healed 2 and it was like, oh, okay. I used my health potion and went into the next room and was almost dead. It's basically the Drifter without the move persistent effects. Has 1 move 4 and a couple move 3s, and that's it. Yeah, and it does have... he has some jumps, which is nice. Like, Leaping Cleave has jump, and Overwhelming Assault has jump. I really, really like this Overwhelming Assault. Just to, like, you can go relatively late at 61, get yourself into position. Because it has jump and it sets the wind, it should be super easy to set up a nice skewer. And then what are you doing with your bottom? Like, if you go late, maybe you go like 87, and you move into position and you heal yourself up. And then you can get off skewer, and you'd want to do it really fast. Okay, so you could go fast and use Provoking Roar to pull an enemy into your skewer so that you can guarantee to hit 2 targets with it, with the wind at 18. You could use your Fearsome Taunt. So if you position yourself in the right place on the turn before, Fearsome Taunt lets you defend an ally, get a shield, and you shouldn't need to be moving, because that's why you went late on the previous turn. If you want a really big turn, you could go Skewer plus Trample, but that's late in initiative, which seems hard to do. And we don't have any use for this leaf, right? Yeah, no use for the leaf. The new level 9? Yeah, we can look real quick. Face Your End is the same, or well, the same name. Attack 2, target 2, range 3, pull 2. And then you get to do a nice big cleave. Honestly, that's a little underwhelming. I mean, I have no idea what the strength of the 2.0 level 9 cards is. But, I mean, just, you know, potentially hitting 2 things for 2 and then 2 things for 3. Potentially 3 things for 3. I guess it's not that hard to hit 3 things for 3 because you just need to be next to 1 enemy. You could be next to 0 enemies and play this with the level 1 card, Provoking Roar. You get to go at 18 speed, move in, pull an enemy in, then attack 2 other enemies, pull them in, and you like pulled one guy here, pulled one guy here, pulled one guy here, and you got all 3 hits. Not bad, but that seems underwhelming for a level 9 card. I don't really remember how good the attack modifier deck was. On the bottom, attack 4, add +3 damage, and gain an experience if the target's hit point value is lower than yours. Okay. And I mean, we could be all the way up at 20-some health. So that's a pretty easy attack 7 bottom, which does seem very good. The other end for level 9, shield 2, 9 initiative. After each attack targeting you this round, perform move 1. Push, target 1 ally or enemy adjacent to you. Push 2. Yeah, there are 2 move 4s, but one of them is the loot card, and it's loot 1, heal 2. So I feel like you're really going to want to play that for the loot and heal, which means it's just 1 move 4. And also, I don't know if at level 1 you're bringing both move 4s. I mean, if you look at a scenario and you see that it's a big one, you could bring both, but when I first read Sweeping Blow, I didn't really feel the need to put it in the deck. I guess a 3-target attack 3 is actually really good if you're hitting 3 undamaged targets and muddling all of them, so maybe I take that back. Maybe Sweeping Blow is good. It's also a fast move 4, a decent speed move 4, which is nice to have. None of the cards really stood out to me as like, I wouldn't bring this, which is just a hard problem to have. At level 9, whatever you're facing won't care about attack 2 or attack 3. They can stack up eventually, and it really depends on what your attack modifier deck is like, but it does seem underwhelming at level 9. Brute's not a character that keeps up with everyone else at high levels. Yeah, I didn't look at the level up cards as we went, but what's the bottom of this? Add +1 to each of your push or pulls. Whenever you push or pull at least 1 hex after the forced movement, that enemy and all enemies adjacent to it suffer 1. Okay, well, I mean, that works really well with this. Yeah, it's any time you push or pull an enemy. So if you're pushing multiple targets with this level 2 card, then multiple times you're making at least the target that you push suffer, and then anything next to them could suffer too. So I like the bottom of that level 9 card. Then the bottom of this level 2, move 2 on your next 2 move abilities, add +1 move, but it's not lost. So that makes up for the fact that you probably don't get Boots of Striding. Juggernaut, I always liked Juggernaut. Move 2, attack 3 now instead of attack 2. I don't remember what the initiative was on it before. I think that might be slightly worse. And then on the next 4 sources of damage you would suffer, negate the damage. I really don't like that effect very much, but it's not bad. Yeah, Snowflake has that at level 1. But it doesn't increase the move, and it doesn't make everything adjacent suffer, too. Level 3, Hook and Chain. I loved this card before, but it was 2 target, wasn't it? I think it was 2 target, but with less range and less pull. Attack 3, range 4, pull 3. Pull 3 is really, really good. And then on the bottom, move 4. If you moved in a straight line with the move ability, perform attack X, where X is the number of hexes you moved. I really like Hook and Chain. A really fun card to play with. It's really fun to play with the bottom of Hook and Chain and move 4, attack 4, and play it with Balance Measure. And move 4, attack 4, attack 4. Unstoppable Charge, attack 3, add +2 and gain XP if you have moved this turn. Easy enough. And then the bottom is still move 4, stun all adjacents. I really, really liked this before, especially paired with the card that would just execute stun targets. Because you go late at 86, move in, stun 2 things, execute one of them, then either Stamina Potion or Short Rest, and execute the other. Very, very OP. I'm sure that's not a card, though. Level 4, heal 5 self. Good. During your next attack ability this round, add +1 to all attacks. Okay, but it's just 1 attack ability. So you wouldn't be able to use that with the level 9 on both of the attacks. Or you could do both of the attacks on the first part, but not the cleaving attack. But you get to move 3. It's nice to move and increase your damage. As of right now, I have no plans to play 2.0. I just wanted to look at the characters. Because I've gone this whole time without spoiling myself on them, and it felt like time. Yeah, it would be great to play a digital. Playing digital has even spoiled me from playing on Tabletop Simulator. Like I used to play physical a bunch, and then I got into Gloomhaven digital, and then I started playing Frosthaven on Tabletop Simulator, and I got used to that, and it made the idea of playing tabletop or Frosthaven physical very difficult. And now that I have Frosthaven digital, I just don't even want to go back to Tabletop Simulator at all. Yeah, they added +1 range and pull to Hook and Chain, but reduced the target. I think they increased the damage too. +1 damage, +1 range, +1 pull, -1 target. Yeah, having all of the overhead gets really tiring once you've played for like an hour and a half or 2 hours and you've done all of the monster movement, and especially when you realize like, oh, I made a mistake and now I have to kind of work back and fix something. It's just so nice to just sit back on digital and watch the monsters take their turn. Generally, the patches have been around the end of the month, like the 24th through the 28th or something like that. So I would expect like the last week of April. Level 4 Whirlwind. Attack 5, target all adjacents, gain 1 XP for each enemy targeted. Set wind. Bottom is move 4, push 3, target all adjacents. I like that, but I mean, it really depends on who your allies are, how much value you're going to get out of it. I probably feel like I would take this heal 5 self card most of the time. No, you want to talk about despair? I was thinking, I don't know why I was under this impression, but for the past like 2 months, I was thinking that the April patch was going to be the full game patch, that we were getting everything else. And then I don't know where I saw something, but I saw a comment someone had posted somewhere on Reddit, I think, where they mentioned that we were getting the lurkers in April and then the full game in July. I was like, no, I have to wait 3 more months just for the end game stuff. I thought it was just around the corner. Alright, level 5 defensive tactics. The first time each round that you gain shield or retaliate from one of your ability or attack modifier cards, gain shield 1, retaliate 1 for the round. That must mean an extra shield 1, retaliate 1. That's so cool. I like that so much. I would definitely play a bruiser and build around this card. Because it turns your level 1 shield 1 retaliate 1 into shield 2 retaliate 2. It turns your 10 initiative shield 1 self card into shield 2 self retaliate 1. That's so cool. I really hope that Kelp's Banes aren't going to be like really bad. Because like Succumb to Fear, it just says normal or elite enemies, and like I get not being able to bane some of the bosses, but the fact that you technically can't bane named enemies is really awful. Like there are so many levels where you get to the end of the level and it spawns like a named enemy, like the Hated Corpse or something like that, and you need to kill that named enemy, and if they do rules as written, then Succumb to Fear won't be able to bane those targets, and that makes Bane Kelp so much worse if the like 10% of scenarios you just can't damage the boss you're facing. Yeah, we're not getting the Shatter Song shards. We're not getting shards until July. Oh, yeah, if you do 5 attacks with the level 9 card, you're very likely... Let's look at those perks again. Yeah, you've got 2 rolling shield 1s. So with the level 5 card, you're very likely to draw one of those. And then you've got this retaliate, but it's only... The retaliate doesn't trigger until you get attacked. Although I don't know if you would get... yeah, you would get the retaliate 3 shield 1 as soon as you do get attacked. So I guess that doesn't actually make any difference. So you have these 4 cards that you could draw. But it only triggers once, right? Yeah, the first time each round. But still, I mean, walking around and potentially having like a whole shield 1 retaliate 1 for an entire scenario is really good. Yeah, that's the way I would be really tempted to build a bruiser, is going relatively deep into shielding and retaliating. And then, you know, finding good opportunities to line up like a hook and chain, move 4, attack 4, play it with balance measure to get another attack 4. Bottom of defensive tactics, move and pull 2 enemies in. Skirmishing maneuver, attack 2, move 2, attack 3. That's the brute that I remember. Oh, but move 5 jump with wind. It wasn't the worst movement character, but it definitely wasn't amazing. So this is really nice to have. Immovable phalanx. Well, this is really nice to have, I say, but I really want the other level 5 over it. So Sorry, skirmishing maneuver. Like, a really fun and interesting card, or move 5 jump at level 5. Immovable Phalanx at level 6, attack 4, shield 1, 17 initiative. But that could be attack 4, shield 2, retaliate 1, which that just sounds so much better. Once each turn, you may treat one move ability from your ability cards as an attack ability of equal value. Okay, yeah, Immovable Phalanx is really fun to play around. And then that turns skirmishing maneuver. Oh, but it's only once each turn. But still, I mean, turning this into a bottom attack 5 set wind is really, really, really nice. And unstoppable charge is like attack 4, stun all adjacents. Skewer is attack 7. Immovable Phalanx was also really fun to play around. Run through, attack 3 in a straight line deep terror-like pattern with Pierce 2, add +1 for each undamaged target. It's fine. A lot of people aren't fans of Retaliate because it means taking damage. Yeah, it's scary. Retaliating can be scary, but I mean that's what makes it fun, right? I mean, it's fun to I love having like shield 2 or shield 3 for a round and just like saying, "Okay, hit me." Like you won't, you know, just going in you get a lot of use out of your items because it's really, really easy to get a lot of shielding from items, and then it makes long resting even better when you're wearing really good armor. And it lets you scale quite a bit. So Retaliate is generally a style that I love to play into. Does it mean if it's on 3 undamaged targets, it's an attack 6? If it's on 3 undamaged targets, it would be 3 attack 4s. 3 attack 4s with Pierce 2. So if they had 2 shield, it's like it's an attack 6. But yeah, you only get the +1 damage if the target is undamaged. So it could be attack 4-3-3 or 4-4-3, but they wouldn't be additive. Move 3, push 1 with an immobilize. This is the first time we've seen... that's not true. There was a disarm at level 1. A disarm. And we got a stun here. And we had a stun modifier. Level 7, Let Fly, an attack 4 loss that pushes for 4 and wounds and stuns. Each enemy occupying a hex the target enters suffers 4 damage and gets wounded. That is such a cool ability. Throw an enemy through all of their friends and everything they go through suffers 4 and gets wounded. That could be so good. I mean, there are so many situations where that's going to pick up like 2 or 3 kills. If you can line it up correctly. That sounds really, really, really fun. When you played Sun, you perked the shield up, took Retaliate 2, and just stood there. Yep. And you could enhance that permanent Retaliate card to make it permanent Retaliate 3. And you could activate both of those permanents on the same turn, because one was a top and one was a bottom. Selfish Redistribution, move 1, loot 2, and it's a loss. Why? So 1 level 7, you get a really fun and interesting and cool sounding loss that can win scenarios, and the other one is just a bad card. The bottom is 8 initiative, move 3, retaliate 2. Which is fine, but didn't we have a level 1 card that did that? Okay, it was Retaliate 2 on the top. So that lets you stack and get Retaliate 4, which is Retaliate 5. So you get to move into position and set Retaliate 5, shield 1 for the round. So I could see a use for it, but the top is just so bad. Yeah, Let Fly does sound amazing. Interesting because you're invited to go 2 different ways, either pushing and pulling or shielding and retaliate. Pretty much, yeah. Crippling offense, multiple target, ranged attack 2 with immobilize. And then on the bottom, move 4, muddle all adjacent enemies, and shield 1. And so that would be muddle and shield 1, retaliate 1. Retaliate 1 is underwhelming. Like, it's not that good. So you really need to be pairing that retaliate 1 with some other stuff. It's the shield 1 on this defensive tactics that I think is really, really, really solid. But having a basically permanent retaliate 1 isn't something to complain about. And then the last card we haven't looked at yet, move 2, attack 3, move 2, attack 3. I mean, that's just good, right? And the bottom is heal X self, where X is the amount of damage you've dealt this turn. Oh. That's really interesting, but hard to set up. Because you don't get to move. So how much damage are we looking at having dealt? Because this isn't a good initiative either. So we need to be playing it with a good initiative card. Okay, I mean, if you were in position for Whirlwind already, 28's not amazing, but attack 5, target all adjacents, and then heal yourself for the amount of damage dealt could go crazy. What are good initiative attacks? And it's very hard to line up that heal, and we haven't seen that many heals. It might be bait. All right, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, and then I think we will try to do Town in Flames real quick, and then I'm going to bed. All right. Overall, Bruiser looks like a lot of fun. Definitely something I would enjoy playing. But it does make me sad that I have no idea when or if I'll get around to 2.0. All right. Elite Priest. So I'm thinking... Okay. Yeah. This multi-target is base attack 3. So what I want to do is get the priest next to the city guard so that I can have Bone Shaper run over and summon the Unearthed Horror. So if the priest is 1 hex here and the Unearthed Horror is standing right here, the priest will always focus the city guard as long as Bone Shaper is after 50. And the priest only hits my summon when he gets his 9 initiative card. And he only kills the summon with crit on the 9 initiative card. And anytime he does hit the summon, I can just Fel Remedy to heal it up. And that way he'll be taking the Retaliate 2 each turn from the city guard. And my summon will get to hit him for 3. I'll probably throw out a poison or something. And so if I can set that up, then I can just set it and forget it. So to do that, I think I just go late and I push on turn 1. And then here I need to move 1, 2, 3, 4 and summon. And then this is not very many enemies. So I could just Eclipse plus Anger of the Dead, turn 1 right here. Maybe I'll Eclipse plus Call to the Abyss. I want to go late on everybody so that this archer doesn't hit me if he can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he should always target over there, right? I don't remember if he sees through the wall or not. I think I can go like this, and he'll always target over there. If I'm standing here on Bone Shaper and this guy goes here, I can go 1, 2. I would not be able to reach with my summon. Alright, we'll just stand up here. Oh, that's right. This doesn't feel like Wraith Town. Okay, we got late move and heal from the priest, so we don't have to worry about him at all. Hasty Assault from the archer, I don't mind. Looks like for Bruiser's attack modifier deck at high level, you're just going to pull one of the 11 plus ones. 11 plus ones? Was that many? Oh, 2 plus 1 heal 2 selves. You'll never mind seeing those. 2 plus 1s here. And 2 plus 1s here. It's not littered with that many plus 1s. You do have a couple rolling shield cards and these rolling retaliates. You get to take out 1, 2, 3. You only get to take out 3 zeros. So you have 3 zeros and you add 4 extra regular plus 1s. I don't think I'm ever minding the plus 1 heal 2 selves. Who is fastest here? Geminate is fastest. I think I'm just going to put the life and death skeleton right here. And it's going to tank the archer, and if it dies, it dies. If it lives, then it tanks both of them, and that's really nice. That's fine. Because this guy goes into gem, who takes a lot of extra damage. And now I don't need to target this priest, which is what I was planning to do. But I don't need to, because he's always going to move here, because it's just move 1. So I think that means I want to move over here. And I'm going to target this archer. Because I would love to get as much damage into the archer as possible. It also means that I can pull this archer into this hex, and I can use Anger of the Dead to wound him. So just go for Anger of the Dead, get wounds on these guys. And yeah, while I have the dark, I'll just Black Barrage this guy. And then next turn I can Strength of the Abyss him, probably. Unless I want to save that for the priest. Here, it's just double target, pull the archer, hope that attack 2, attack 3, plus wound will kill, but it probably won't. And then here, I just go after 50. I'll put some curses in their deck. And, ooh, let's poison the priest. And all in all, this is okay, except Geminate could be taking way too much damage with this plan. I could plan to Boots to go after Geminate. Oh, no, I don't need to, because with the Dark Black Barrage, I'm actually in range of the Archer already. And I can shield 1 the Geminate this turn. And I think it's fine. Okay, we need a 0 or better. So, I will first target this guy. No Spyglass. That's very good damage. Wound this guard. And now wound anything that enters a shadow. And then, and throw my Protective Scepter onto Geminate. And now into my Embrace right here. Oh, not... Jeez. Mind Spike first, because once I pull him, I can't attack him again. There we go. And we did need all of that, but now he dies to the wound, and he doesn't get his attacks off, which is very nice. Very, very nice. We get the 0, so Geminate survives. Archer dies to the wound. This guy will have to hit here, which means he takes the Retaliate. Yeah, someone did nothing. Oh, and the guard ran away, so we only get 1 curse instead of 2. That's sad, but we'll take whatever we can get getting ready for the next room. I really like the new icons. Like, the new Earth icon looked a lot better. Okay. I would like to Fell Remedy heal this guard. I don't have Transfer of Essence for the bottom heal. I could go fast and let my summon take one hit, but then I don't get the retaliate. Let's go slow and... Oh, there's not anything exciting I can do with elements. Because maybe I can get the dark from Deathwalker for a Command the Wretched with Pierce. So Deathwalker, do you feel like setting dark? I really want to attack for 3 with Restless Spirits and Curse, which means I'm not setting dark. But I like getting this curse in. I don't mind Deathwalker taking a hit here. And then I can just, like, teleport. Well, I don't really want to. I can teleport there, and I'll still be the focus. And then now, finally... How is Jiminy gonna help? Let's go late. I think I just go late and I disable this guard for next turn with, like, drag down. And then I'll run down this way and position myself to where I can do an attack 4 with Smoldering Hatred into the Priest and move and switch. And then maybe by that time... I mean, he shouldn't be dead. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Overall, it looks like this is going exactly the way I wanted. I'm going to hold off on Spyglass this turn. We'll use it next turn with Strength of the Abyss's attack. And teleport here so that Jiminy doesn't get focused. Oh, man. I got crit when it exactly kills. That's so sad. We'll drop Wave of Anguish. That is so sad. I even had the thought to myself, like, Deathwalker survives everything but crit, so we're fine. And then, of course, I get crit. Oh, but the summon crits. Okay, that's really nice. So... yeah, I'll just tell him to hit right here. Man, the summon did so much damage. Oh my gosh. A crit and a +1 onto a poisoned target. That's almost the fastest I've ever killed that thing. Yeah, I can't get any elements though. Alright, well, we can just make another skeleton by the door. Let's go ahead and activate the Angry Spirits, Persistent 2. And I'll probably Fell Remedy this City Guard and heal him up. Now that he's dead, I think I reshape the guys instead. So that I can regenerate the health that I'm missing. And I saved my Spyglass, and I have my boots. So I can guaranteed go faster than this guy, and basically guaranteed kill him. Okay, well. Excessive crit, but that's fine. Overkill by 6. I don't remember my battle goals. Okay, Gem needs to kill an enemy and pick up their loot in the same turn. Go ahead and grab this heal. Gonna long rest in a second. Here is the real Bone Shaper problem for this level, though. I probably want to back Bone Shaper out this turn. And let Geminate get in there. And we'll activate Horn Beetle. And Deathwalker, I'll just move 1 shadow to the door. It would be really nice with the prompt when it's asking you if you want your summons to move. It would be really nice if it would figure out, like, oh, your summons are just going to stand still if they would move, and then skip asking you. Like, I would imagine that's something that they've thought of, but, you know, it would take time to implement, and so it's like a quality of life thing that will come in the future, hopefully. But that would be a really nice thing to see. I probably just nap everybody here, right? Yeah. Everybody could use the heal. I get nothing out of playing a Geminate turn, so we'll just nap everyone at the same time. And then I want to keep movement. I want to keep Wrath of the Turned Earth. I want to keep some skeletons. I guess Fell Remedy could go. It's fine. Call to the Abyss is nice to get another shadow out. I don't have a lot of shadow movement, though. So it's going to be really rough to get these into the next room. This is a hard place for Deathwalker to be. And we can drop reshape the guys. Alright. I mean, it's probably move in and attack and pull. Maybe I go slow just so that if I'm tied with anything, they would go after guards and not gem. Maybe I'll take 1 turn. I'll take 1 turn, because I can set up Scarab Flight on this turn, and then if I move in and attack with Into My Embrace, that'll switch me to melee, and I'll have shield 8. Or 8 shield over 4 attacks. And this gives me 1 more turn of regenerate here, which is nice. I like that. So just a little bit of nothing with my other card. It means I could have Fell Remedied Geminate right now, which would have been nice. So we'll go ahead and get Wrath of the Turned Earth up. And I could heal myself with Flow of the Black River. I could get another skeleton, but does a skeleton over here help me? I don't know what else I'm doing if I don't skeleton right now. So maybe we'll just do that. Wrath of the Turned Earth and get a skeleton back here, and maybe eventually it'll get in. And then that my moving all shadows for 2? That seems underwhelming. I could make a shadow. That also seems underwhelming, because I would be putting it in a bad spot. Now I wish I had Shadow Step and I could move here and make my shadow there, which would be a lot better. Yeah, it just looks like we're not going to get to do much on Deathwalker because I didn't get a Wave of Anguish off. So the main way my shadows are going to be doing anything is just Fluid Night plus Dark Fog, right? So let's just... let's just Black Barrage. I do have Restless Spirits for the extra shadow movement too. I did forget about that. So that could be nice. So I think Anger of the Dead is something I don't need, because I'm going to need Restless Spirits and Dark Fog bottom for moving shadows. Fluid Night top pairs with Dark Fog bottom, and then Forceful Spirits bottom pairs with Strength of the Abyss. And then maybe that means Call to the Abyss isn't getting played this cycle, but that's fine. Better to get these closer so that the move 4 and the move 5 will be enough to do something. Activate my shield. Activate summon immunity and life and death. And we are ready to go. So just late, command the wretched, probably with Flow of the Black River, and I probably move Raging Corpse. He should move 2 on his turn, or maybe just 1, and then I can move him 4 and let him get an attack off. Looks like I haven't failed Promoter yet. Surely I haven't. I haven't gotten Mugger yet. And I haven't messed up Pedestrian. So that's all good. Oh, okay. I need to go late here. So we'll call to the Abyss Bottom. I guess with Strength of the Abyss Top. And then I go in late and I attack and pull and switch to melee for the better shield. And I get up to 8 health on my regenerate.
You run in.
Alright, we got ranged card out of guards. Move and heal out of priest. Extra damage card out of archers. Overall, I mean, I think this is like it could have been worse. So if I move here and pull Archer, Elite Archer 2, this priest will run this way, right? He'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy will run up this way. This guy will run to me. This guy will run to me. Since they're ranged, the Elite will be here. This Archer will be here. My Shambling Skeleton will hit this guy. The problem is that I would have to tank attack 6, attack 5, attack 4, attack 6, attack 5. And that is, like, lose multiple cards territory. Well, that's definitely not amazing. I could come down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I could pull this archer down. He would get hit by 1 skeleton. This guy would be here. This guy would go here. What if I run all the way down this way? Who does this guy target? He sees 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3. I would love to make this guy go that way. But the only way I can do that is running all the way back here. And then I don't get to attack anybody. If I do run all the way back, it means that this guy runs that way. This guy runs that way. This archer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would shoot the city guard. This guy would hit the city guard. This guy would hit the city guard. This guy would hit my skeleton. I think I come this way because things are going to be really grouped up around Gem, which means I can get off a really nice wound with my 12 initiative card, because I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 targets with it. And I played my shield 2 loss to be able to tank. So 9 health, 8 shield. You know, I'll have to lose a couple cards to damage, I think. Oh, that +2 is really rough to see. I don't want to lose 2 shield and lose a card to damage, but I think I have to. I just switched into melee. I'm low on health, so I'm never going to be able to get Venomous Barbs' Retaliate off. Oh, now we get the curse. Come on, shield. Big shield? No, we got... We got crit. Man, those shields did not work out in my favor. Oh, that guy sees the guard. Alright. My guys moved about the way I expected. I would love to get something out of this move, but I would also like to get an attack out of the Command the Wretched. So, we'll just skip the Flow of the Black River move on ourselves. But this way, my big boy Lost Skeleton gets to target the Archer, and he crits again for the second time in this scenario. That's really, really nice. And now I just go fast. Ooh. Dark Tidings seems decently worth it here, especially because I can go fast with Deathwalker and get the Dark, and that will give me a couple of poisons. It would be nice if this guy could get in and get one, but he won't. But that's okay. We'll get off 2 poisons, at least 1 curse. Well, we'll get off 1 poison because this Archer hopefully is going down. We'll get off a bunch of attacks. I guess I could wait 1 turn. Let's wait 1 turn on the Dark Tidings. There's no reason to jump the horse and do it right now, right? So I'll just move 3 and make another skeleton myself. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how in the way this guy is. Oh, but I want to wound everything, but that's going to wound all of my skeletons. Maybe it's not worth it, because that would use all my Wrath of the Turned Earth charges. What if I go for this drag down loss? It's not something I normally play. I don't have the light for the advantage, but it would be a 3-target attack 4 because of the Hornbeetle Carapace. And I could disarm this guard as I go in. And then once I'm on this side, next turn I could Flailing Tendrils and wound a couple targets. I think I like that. I like that. I like that, because I really need to get through this clump as fast as possible, and doing 3-target attack 4, that's 12 damage worth of attacks on Geminate. That's super worth it. Especially if it means that we can kill this elite archer. And then I'll have enough skeletons in position. Maybe I like short rest to get Flow of the Black River for next turn, and Flow of the Black River Dark Tidings with the Dark that Deathwalker is giving me. I like everything about that. Archers are slow, so I don't know. We are on a rescue mission. I can move this for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The question is, who do I want to target? I could target any of the archers. Let's go for this elite Algox, I think. We'll Spyglass it. Alright. 5 damage is fine. And yeah, both of my summons are going to focus on this guy because he's faster. Now my question, I think I unsummon this skeleton so he didn't ever do anything. But now I can move to this hex and I can resummon right here. And this guy with a move 2, he can reach either the archers or the guard, which is nice. And my skeletons just tank here with Wrath of the Turned Earth. Oh. Man, I think I'm gonna undo, because I definitely meant to go fast on Geminate, not slow. Because now I'm not lined up for a super good draining pincers. Since I was so slow. I could, however, just go for... You know what? I think it's fine. I'm just going to go like this. And... miss. I would have +1'd on that elite archer. We'll still just play double losses. Because I can get disarms on these guys. I think it's fine. And we'll Exploding Corpse, Dark Tidings. Am I playing Exploding Corpse? Would any of my other bottoms be better? Not really, so I might as well do this because it's good initiative and I don't have to rest. Now I've lost all my Wrath of the Turned Earth charges, so I don't mind wounding some of my own skeletons, I think. These guys are disarmed, so Geminate's pretty safe. I'll just do a default attack here. And yeah, that guy dies to wound now before he gets a turn. Deathwalker... 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm just gonna... Where do I want to move this shadow? Let's move the shadow right here. And make that guy suffer the 3. A very underwhelming turn for Deathwalker, but we have a really nice Bone Shaper turn here. Skeleton, don't go missing on the poisoned guy. Of all the targets you could miss. Alright, consume the dark on this attack here. Ah, didn't get a plus. Really wanted a plus. Alright, I didn't get all the kills that I wanted, but it's fine. Exploding Corpse doesn't help me. I think we just stay still, right where we are. Yeah, lose the good summon. But that's alright. He helped us fight through the big scary clump right at the door, which is the hard thing to get through here. Ah, and Gem's dead. Wasn't able to get Mugger. Was just 1 damage away on both of these guys. Man, now it's actually kind of sketchy. But these 2 archers die to their wounds. These 2 die to their wounds. Man. If I long rest, I'm very likely to lose Skeleton, but it would be like this guy hits Skeleton, this guy maybe hits Guard, this guy maybe hits Deathwalker. Part of me wants to long rest to get my Spyglass back. But maybe that's just being dumb. Because if I short rest, I can teleport in and just kill. But I do want Forceful Spirits. I really don't want to lose a lot of my cards. Restless Spirits would have been really good. But I can still teleport in and... I can teleport in and kill this guy. And this skeleton can tank and Deathwalker can tank. And so it's just teleport in and range damage. And then this way I can long rest. And maybe my skeleton survives if the guards don't attack, which they don't. And since I win at 14, Deathwalker can tank. So I just need to not miss this attack. Good. Good, good, good. +2. Man, Deathwalker's taken 2 attacks, a crit, and a +2. Okay, and I get to keep that one Skelly, which is really nice. Crit there is unfortunate. Alright, I have Malicious Conversion, potentially. I think I like... I should be careful. It's definitely possible to screw this up from here. Because this archer is going to be doing a lot of damage. Maybe that means I just move forward and I make a skeleton to tank. Move forward, skeleton here, it tanks. This priest is going to be running over, though. I like the idea of going relatively fast because I could just... Skeleton +1 kills this guard. Skeleton could get a +1 and kill him, and then I could just move him down to tank the archer. That would be the dream. Deathwalker is just standing in the door looking kind of dumb with their finger and her thumb. I guess I can just make a shadow and Fluid Knight the archer. I lost Restless Spirits. That really hurts. That suffer damage could have been good. I have boots, right? Yes, okay, good. I can outspeed the guard shield and attack. We don't get a +1, but he's not moving. So there's no downside to me moving. Okay, this guy's gonna move 2, 1, 2, and attack range 3, 1, 2, 3. So, if I just move this skeleton here, then the priest doesn't get to attack me. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and attack this guy, just in case the priest would move and heal next turn. And then move my skeleton here. The priest doesn't get to hit anything. The archer's just going to hit my skeleton. We do have a couple curses in their deck, so it's possible we live. Oh, we have 4 curses in their deck. It's more than I thought. Deathwalker, I would love a crit here. +1 is good. +1 is not a crit, but it is good. Especially because this next turn... Yeah. This next turn I'm attacking with black. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's run in with Return Servant and Malicious Conversion. Move 4, attack 4. And then here we go Black Barrage, Dark Fog. I can move one of my back shadows in as much as possible, and I get to attack for 3. At range, just show me nothing fast. Oh, fast move and heal. Fast move and heal really sucks. Okay, that means the Black Barrage goes here. I'm hoping for a 0. Okay. Not amazing, but it works. Oh, no. I mean, I feel like I have to move on to this trap, but that feels so dumb. But the priest moved into my way. Maybe instead of moving my shadow forward, I'll move forward. This way I get... Yeah, this is way better. This way I get the loot, which is something that I want. And now the priest comes up here and doesn't wall me off. And I can malicious conversion, and I have a spyglass. I just need a 0 with a spyglass. We already have a -1 out of the deck. We already have the -2 out of the deck from a perk. And now we have a skeleton on top of the priest. And I have both of my elements. I don't know if I get any use out of them. But as long as I can keep this priest away from this guard, he's going to be damaging himself with the retaliate. At least a little bit. So that won't be too bad. I can get the life and death off. That'll be fine. Do a long rest here. Yes, because my skeleton will be the focus unless it's the 9. And I get my spyglass back. It is not the 9, but it is the 8. So skeleton probably just dies. Okay, but he tanked a +2. What more can you ask for? We'll just put this skeleton right here to tank for us this next turn, because I think I'm long resting. Oh, strength and dodge a curse. And this isn't 1, but it's not looking bad. Do I need shadow movement? I don't need teleport. I'm thinking this turn I just make another shadow so that next turn my Strength of the Abyss does more. And then after that, I can Fluid Knight plus Anger of the Dead. And here I can long rest. Move and heal is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful because I'm not hurting this guy this turn. Or, well, he's not healing anything. Nice, we got another curse. That's why we stacked those. Okay. Going very well. Put this under him, and I can just hit him for 2. It's fine. Get that -1 out of here. We don't want it. Oh, beautiful +2. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. No damned horde. We don't need the curses. And this feels like as good a time as any for the Command the Wretched loss. And I just go as fast as possible. I wound, and I Strength of the Abyss with Spyglass. I just rested, so I have boots. Do I double boots? Let's double boots. Because this is the disarm. I would love to kill him, if possible. Let's just see what kind of damage we get. Crit? No crit. But we have the wound. And now, I don't mind if he disarms me. If I crit with the skeleton and he dies to the wound. Beautiful. No need to even play the command. The Wretched will just move the skeleton. Get that -1 out of there. And get the loot. Actually, maybe I don't want the skeleton to be all that close. Ah, we got a Snow Thistle, our first herb. I guess I don't want that city guard to die. Well, skeleton doesn't get there this turn. We'll just... Unfortunately, no loot cards. Oh, nice -2. Alright, skeleton will get him next turn. That's fine. We can go ahead and grab another experience. And not as much loot as I would have liked to have gotten, but... Am I going to be able to get a loot token this next turn? I don't think I have a single move 3 for Deathwalker. Yeah. No move 3s. Alright, but it worked out. We made it through. And we'll just look at these beautiful loot piles. Level 4 already. Before the first outpost phase. GG. Oh, we got 2 Snow Thistle. A little bit of gold. We got some metal. No lumber. No lumber at all. It's kind of crazy. There's a fair bit of wood in that loot deck. 15 experience on Bone Shaper. I'm actually shocked that Deathwalker did more damage than Geminate, because when I opened the door, it felt like... Well, I messed up the initiative on Geminate on 1 turn. Yeah, I did the prologue missions. They just give you so much experience. Which feels nice to me. Also, like, Town in Flames can be hard, so getting to go into Town in Flames with extra... That little bit of extra experience is really nice. And you get so much gold in the prologue. I'm at 104 gold on Bone Shaper. No idea what I would ever spend it on, but I have 104 of it. I like the symbols. It makes the outpost phase much cleaner looking. Yeah, I really wish I could spend this. How do I retire? Alright. 100 more experience from cards and I retire. 5 more herbs and I retire. And 12 more buildings. So let's go ahead and unlock a trap, right? Why not? Man, very low on the wood. Ooh, that looks so much better. And craftsman, that would use like all of my wood, and it would use some morale. I probably don't want to spend the morale yet. We get double level up on Bone Shaper. Yeah, enhancements would be amazing. Alright, I never go Putrid Cloud, so let's go Putrid Cloud. I never go Critical Failure. I love Flesh Shield. Flesh Shield is one of my favorite cards to play around. And it gives another, at least slightly faster card for Bone Shaper, which is nice to have. Flesh Shield always feels like it frees up so much for me. But I honestly don't know if I've ever used critical failure. So we'll bring critical failure. And then let's get one set of rolling heals, because it does add 3 of them, which is kind of just nice to have. And then we'll put some curses. Geminate. We took Venomous Barbs, so we'll go Dragonfly Surge. Yeah, we'll go Dragonfly Surge. Let's add the Crit Brittle Self. I want Dragonfly Surge in. Let's drop Smoldering Hatred and take Reshape the Guys. I just hate muddling myself and cursing myself. Can't wait to see the quality of life we get in the Lurker update. Yeah, I don't know. For me, the biggest thing is the longer scenarios run, the laggier they get. Because, like, frequently I'll start a scenario, and at the beginning of it, well, by the end of scenarios frequently, I'm looking at them, and it's all really choppy, and it's running really bad, and it's, like, hurting my eyes to look at. And then the next time I play, when I go and I start a new scenario, it looks really glossy and smooth at the beginning of the level. And it's like, oh, well, what was I even complaining about? And then, or complaining to myself about. And then by the time I get to the end of the level, once it's been running for a long time and there's a lot of stuff on the screen, then it's running choppy again. That is my biggest complaint about the game. And there are some other things, like, I just don't understand why I mean, I think it's the resolution of the card images here is just not very good. Like, the circle around the dark element here, it's just not fully filled in, and I don't understand why. It's just like yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, like, cleaning up stuff that they could do that would be really nice. But I mean, for the most part, like, the levels, all of the levels and the characters play like at least 90% correctly. It's the undo feature. If you reload the save, you notice better frame rate. I have noticed that in the past, yeah. I did forget that, so thank you for reminding me. It might have even been you that told me before, Jazz. But yeah, you're definitely right about that. Undoing really screws things up. So I don't know if there's a way for them to... I mean, I think they kind of rushed to implement the undo, because they initially, I think, were saying it wasn't really planned, and then all of a sudden, like, pretty quickly after the early access released, it was just like a month later, they were like, oh, here's an undo feature. So, I mean, I would think that they threw the undo feature together relatively quickly. Undo generally works really well for me. I've only had it crash a few times. Like, less than 1% of the time does undo cause crashes, but it does cause a lot of lag. There's something with the undo feature where it's like reloading all of the past actions in every turn. Like, it's too dynamic. There's definitely something going on there. Like, the more actions it's storing, the more bogged down the processing gets. Yeah. Especially, things can get really, really bad and ugly when you've got, like, a whole bunch of hazardous terrain on the screen from Meteor and Snowflake, and if you do an undo or two, then you're running at like 10 frames a second. And maybe that's my computer, but it gets painful. All right, Putrid Cloud and Critical Failure. I'm excited to try Critical Failure, especially if I'm getting dark from other sources. Maybe I really want to put Eternal Torment, Transfer of Essence in to get those dark sources. Ugh, maybe I have to drop Wrath of the Turned Earth, but I don't want to. Maybe I drop one of my skeletons. I guess Exploding Corpse can go. Oh, this seems so rough. I mean, do I drop Command the Wretched now that I have Critical Failure? Critical Failure is a really good source of Dark. Using Dark gets me a minimum extra attack 3. I guess I need 2 skeletons in position. Maybe I don't need Dark Tidings. Because Critical Failure is almost just a non-loss upgrade over the loss version of Dark Tidings. I lose out on a move 4. But Bone Shaper movement generally is not the restrictive factor. Okay, if I'm adding a top granted attack, can I really justify having 3 top granted attacks in the deck? Because my top actions, I can summon. I mean, I've got a whole lot of summoning with top actions, and if I have 3 granted attacks with top actions, then I'm never playing the heal on Flow of the Black River. I'm never playing the heal on Fell Remedy. It makes Transfer of Essence really hard to play, but maybe I really want Transfer of Essence for the Dark on the bottom, plus a heal 5 onto either my big summon or one of my allies. Yeah, I need that because I don't have a tanky ally. I used a random number generator and I didn't get a Banner Spear or a Drifter. So I need this Transfer of Essence heal, and I want the good use out of the Dark. So I guess it's Eternal Torment that I don't bring, because this is a 4th top granted attack. And so the question becomes, would I rather have Eternal Torment for the Curse and the Dark set, or Command the Wretched for the move on the attack? You've stopped using Undo and just accept your stupidity, but you only play on +1 most difficulty, so it's not life or death. I very much try to not use Undo, but once I get towards the end of a scenario and it's like, well, I need all the right moves here. Because, like, I should have, there was a turn in that last level where I just accidentally went at 72 on Geminate instead of 34. And if I had gone at 34, I would have gone faster than all the monsters, and I would have gotten to hit 3 targets. But since I was slow, I took an extra hit, and the monsters moved out of position. Yeah, Transfer of Essence is good for... It's good for using my elements, and it's good for setting my elements. Like, I didn't bring it in some of the levels, and many times I felt myself wishing I had had it. I think we drop Eternal Torment. It's hard, but I don't need 4 granted attacks. And I love cursing, but maybe the general idea is that I just have enough skeletons out that I don't need the curses. And once we get to a key point in the level, I can just activate Wrath of the Turned Earth. And that's like getting 3 guaranteed curses out. I always grab Deadbolt. So we'll take Ritual Sacrifice. Ooh, I have 2 perks, and I'm just 1 check mark away from getting another one. Let's try this Disadvantage while you're in Shadows perk. I know it can be good. And then, yeah, Long Rest Move a Shadow 3 perk. Hurts to take 2 worded perks when I could have taken out 2 -1s and added 2 +1s, but the disadvantage, it could really be nice. Especially because both of the times that I got attacked on my Scary, I took a crit on the very first attack I took, and then +2 on the next. Ritual Sacrifice, it can be a ton of damage. Or at the very least, it's a very fast move in Set Dark, which is nice to have. And the shield potentially can also be really nice. Oh, especially because I can pair it with my Protective Scepter, and like just 1 shadow to give somebody shield 2 is pretty good. Especially because Geminate can give itself a shield 1. So like 1 shadow plus Protective Scepter plus Geminate going at 14 and giving itself shield 1, retaliate 1, and then retaliate 3 with its top. Maybe like a fire shield potion. That sounds pretty good. Let's drop Wave of Anguish for now. And then I might just bring it depending on what level I'm doing. You need to try the melee Deathwalker build? Yeah, you don't really. Actually, so here's my hot take. Here's my hottest of hot takes. And it's going to sound really dumb. I think I really like Fleeting Dusk for the melee Deathwalker. Obviously, Pulled Across is the card that you're supposed to take. Because you can go at 13 initiative, you move 2, you go invisible, you set your dark for the next turn, and you can attack for 8 if you have 5 shadows on top of something. But, like, Fleeting Dusk lets you generate non-lost shadows twice as quickly. It's really, really nice to be able to get this extra shadow, because very frequently you find yourself with extra bottoms, and when you have those extra bottom actions, getting an extra shadow out is just so powerful. It allows you to play this bottom of Restless Spirits without minding that you're losing the shadow, because like I really love this bottom on Restless Spirits because it's guaranteed damage and it's bottom damage, so it feels just completely free. You can pick off targets with it. It's really, really, really good, but it really eats through your shadows really, really quickly. And with Ritual Sacrifice, you want to be stacking as many shadows as possible. And so just having that ability to get an extra shadow out is really nice. And it works as pseudo shadow movement if you can skip moving a shadow for 3 or 4 because you're placing a new one instead. So, I don't know. Invisibility is obviously really, really good. And I do like this Bane near the end of a level. But, I don't know. I was playing pretty... What was I doing? I took Deepening Despair. Why was I thinking I was playing... I think my last Deathwalker, I took both of these cards is what it was. I had both Fleeting Dusk and Pulled Across. Because I did want to mess with the invisibility some. So I think at level 5, I went back and took Fleeting Dusk. And just... I don't like playing Deathwalker without Fleeting Dusk. Everything gets smoothed out so much more by being able to make 2 Shadows Arrest cycle with Call to the Abyss bottom and Fleeting Dusk bottom. Yeah, Pulled Across, it can be really good. The initiative on it is just so awful. And like a lot of the time you don't necessarily need the dark, but it definitely helps when you have something like Bone Shaper that can also appreciate the dark. And the problem is that there are just so many levels that invisibility completely breaks that it makes it almost kind of unfun when a scenario is like survive for 10 turns and you can just go Deathwalker and Blinkblade and both just be invisible the whole time. It's very strong, but it's not fun. But invisibility is just very, very good. So basically no downside invisibility is nice to have. But I don't know, Fleeting Dusk smooth things out so much. All right. I need to go to bed. Part of me really wants to play another one, but I have to be up in 5.5 hours to take my son to school. So I'm going to call it. But I will most likely be back tomorrow night. And maybe we'll look at another Gloomhaven class. I think Cragheart is mostly unchanged. Wow, that is now that is a pattern. I do not want to try to figure out what that looks like on the board. All right, we'll probably look at Cragheart tomorrow night because that was fun to do. All right, have a good night.